architects, planners and building professionals. I welcome you to our show. My name is Sophia Dreyer and I will guide you through the program in the next 30 minutes. And we will talk about the new collection Area Pro. And I introduce to you Rolf Klebel. He is Export Sales Manager at AGROB Buchtal. Hello, Rolf.
Hello, Sophia. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to have you here. So we're now talking about the series Area Pro, where the slip resistance plays a major role. So I've read that this topic is one of the core competences of AGROB Buchtal. Can you explain this a little bit more?
Sure, you're absolutely right, and this is a very big core competence for our company, as we introduced it first time already in the 30s of last century. With regard to slip and fall accidents, slip resistance is of course a very important issue, and we have produced mainly for public and commercial sectors slip-resistant tiles, and we have built up a great expertise in this sector.
Because everyone knows when you go out of your swimming pool and then you walk like on eggs, that you don't fall. So after all, there's not only anti-slip and non-slip. So there are more differences in between.
Exactly, and we talk about non-slip in barefoot areas, for example, shower areas or pool surroundings. And then we talk about anti-slip in areas with public areas where you walk with shoes, for example, in shopping malls or entrance halls. And commercial areas are classified in R rates, for example, R9 to R13, and non-slip tiles for barefoot areas are classified from A, B, and C.
So that means there are also differences within these areas.
There are differences. For example, in industrial or public areas, there exist different applications, and of course, depending on the application, one has to choose the right slip resistance. And this is, of course, a major task in our architectural sales, and our salespeople have the expertise and can, of course, advise correspondingly.
And so what are the typical areas for the different classes?
For example, R10 surface, which is the most common finish, is used in public areas like shopping malls, airports, railway stations. And this is, of course, the standard, the R10 for us as well. Then the next higher level is R11, which is usually used in workshops or laboratories. And then R12 and R13, this is for production areas and also in large kitchens.
So, for example, this tile here, these surfaces, it's like, can I say, like knobs? Are these more slip resistant then?
Not really, but this helps, of course, to avoid any slipping accidents, for example, in kitchen areas where you have also moistures on the finish. So this displacement space, as it is called, makes the surface slip resistance, and you can walk on the top level, and the hollow space underneath is functioning as a drainage level. For these surfaces, it's a classification in V classes, and we have, for example, V4 to V10.
So in the flooring series, AGROB Buchtal often offers several slip resistance classes, and the new Area Pro series has a particularly large selection of such surface. What is the purpose of this?
Well, we have actually 7 different slip resistant surfaces in Area Pro, and that makes it easier for the planners to use, for example, the same color in different areas of application. If you imagine a restaurant kitchen, and restaurant, of course, with an open kitchen, there is usually just a glass wall between the restaurant and the kitchen. So they can use in the restaurant, for example, R10, in the kitchen, the higher rating R11, or even the R12, whatever is necessary, depending on the size of the kitchen. There are regulations also regarding the sizes. So that is very, very often used, and that is a big advantage for the planners.
Yeah, I believe. But what would be the ideal project in which such a concept can bring all its advantages to bear?
Could be, for example, a hotel or hospital, where you have entrance lobby areas with a normal R10 rating. Then you have larger kitchens, for example, you have bathrooms, you have swimming pools, you have showers. So wherever you have different applications and you require different slip resistant classes, you can use the same tile but with different finishes.
Thank you, Rolf, for explaining us this important topic and this amazing series Area Pro. Dear viewers, our next speaker is the Head of Design Development at AGROB BUCHTAL, and I introduce to you now Heidi Banach. Hi Heidi.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. So, how did you go about designing Area Pro?
So we were looking for a timeless design without any direction, which you can use for different applications. And we decided to work with limestone, as you see here, with a fine grain layered structure, but without any direction. So it's very comfortable to work with this design.
And how many colors do you have?
We developed 12 colors for the floor and 3 lighter colors for the wall.
So this is a lighter one.
This is one lighter color for the floor, but there is even a lighter one. And from the light colors, we go to the earthy colors, earthy brown tones, like this.
One.
And then, of course, we have a gray range, starting from light grays to dark grays.
So that's probably what the architects like at the moment, right? All the gray stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So architects always need a good gray range.
And in which formats do you have them?
We have a generous selection of formats, and we start at 10 by 10 and end at the large format 90 by 90 or 60 by 120, with all the standard formats like 30 by 60 or 60 by 60 in between. And I see here there's some more stuff. These are some detailed solutions, right? What is it? Exactly. This is the cuff skirting. And we produce these cuff skirtings in all the colors with internal and external corners for the cuff skirting. It's always the same design like the floor colors. And we also provide staircase solutions, such as the white stair tile with a length of 1.35 meters, or ceramic channel covers for swimming pools. And under our brand Surf, we offer wash basins and ceramic floor shower systems. This is really nice for hotel bathrooms, for example.
And what else? What kind of details did you develop?
We provide a thin, sustainable wall tile, 6 millimeter thick, in 30 by 60 and 30 by 90. And of course, almost all the products are finished with our high-tech technology.
What does that mean?
High-tech is a finish that provides ceramic surfaces from mold or bacteria, and it makes them easier to clean.
Wow, I'm impressed. Wow. So thank you, Heidi, for showing us the series. And dear viewers, now we will talk with the designer who developed that functional surface. So, dear viewers, now we come to our third speaker, and I don't need to use a lot of words to introduce him because everyone knows him already. It's the famous designer Sebastian Hagner. And AGROB Buchtal is proud to work with him. And now we are connected via video conference with Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So, tell me, have you worked with ceramics before, or was it your first time?
Actually, in the DNA of my design studio, it's about craftsmanship, working with real materials. And since a couple of years, I already work together with German friend Rosenthal. So we work with porcelain, which is maybe a bit similar to ceramic. And then I work also with a stove tile producer in Bavaria, who's working with ceramic. And but those two companies are more in, hands-on manufacturing, more small numbers. And when I got the call from the product management team of AGROB Buchtal, it was really interesting for me to consider this project because it was about a different scale. It was about the industrial production of the tiles. And on the other hand, there was this specific topic of a non-slip surface, of a non-slip tile. So something very functional. It's about product design. It's not just about the aesthetics of a product. It's really about those parameters. You call it R12V4. So I never heard of this before, but it's the sign or it's the parameter of this specific tile. So the people in the industrial kitchen, the chef is not sliding, so he stands completely stable and safe on the tiles. And I think that specific briefing was very interesting for me and my team.
Yeah, I understand that. And I guess it's really a very unusual topic for a designer.
Definitely.
And how did you develop your design then?
Yeah, well, it's actually the same. If we work on a table or a lamp, we go to the factory first to look behind the scenes, to meet the people, to see how they produce the tiles. So they're long machines producing different formats, different sizes, different colors. And it's really impressive to see and to smell and to feel, to get in contact with all the senses with the company and their product they work on. And then on the other hand, you have the requirements, regulations about those tiles for architecture, for industrial kitchen. So it's always the balance between aesthetics, but on the other side also to have the function of a product. So in this case, it's really using your knowledge from mathematics, physics, because you have it's about the stability I mentioned, and then the higher parts of the tile and lower parts, so where the liquid media can have its space and the person still have the stability. So it was really a lot of work together. It was a strong dialogue. We used our 3D printers here in the studio to make small prototypes, mock-ups, and then we developed a certain ornament. And and we also had the idea that it's an ornament which works easy from each perspective, from each side, so you can place it quite easy on the floor. So the craftsman or the user is able just to take it out of the box, to place it on the floor, to fix it. That's it.
And I guess it was also a goal that the grid surface is in the basis character of the collection, right? How did that affect the design?
Yeah, there's a collection of AGROB with a very strong character, very earthy colorway, and of course it has to fit to this existing collection with the different formats. And now we did the non-slip ornament one, they called grid, and what is very special also in this one, that we can have it now also in the big size of 60/60, which is quite unusual and which gives a lot of possibility now to interior architects to use in different way, because the ones I know, they are always small, like this size in the industrial kitchens. And of course, it's important that it really works perfectly together. And I think we all did a great job in this.
Well, and you speak of an ornament. Can you imagine that you use it in other ways?
Yeah, it's a kind of trapezoidal ornament, and yeah, it's quite decorative, but also functional, I mentioned. And of course, the origin is to have it for the floor, but I think sometimes the transfer is very interesting, what we do also here in our design approach. So it could be also wall covering or more in architectural way, yeah, in an interior.
So now you really became an expert in tiles, I guess. Will you use tiles now in your future works as well?
Definitely, we actually just finished a restaurant close to Bath, Switzerland, and unfortunately the tile was not finished yet. But in future projects, I would love to use it, because as a designer for products, we always think how we can use it in the future and how interior architects or architects will use it. And I'm very curious already for the future, me watching or looking behind the desk at the restaurant to see if there will be my grid one or in an industrial kitchen. So I hope we will see it a lot in the future.
Yeah. So thank you, Sebastian, for describing us how you're working. And I wish you the best. Thanks for sharing your time, and goodbye. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and have a great day.